Byoungwook and I prepared my presentation, the article. The topic is a study of the class satisfaction on team project less among university students. And I work for Han's University, and we worked for the article. My co-worker is Jongwoon, Choi, and Sanghoon Lee. Okay, let's start. The first introduction. The government and university are making great effort to improve the quality of university education according to the social demands of strengthened competitiveness in university education. The Ministry of Education is the main change in the function and roles of university in response to social changes such as the fourth industrial revolution. Next, this means that the instructor-centered education system, which has been leading in the traditional education system, should be effectively improved to provide a creative education system. In this situation, learner-centered education can be presented as an approach that university should pursue. Next, learner-centered education is a key topic emphasizing the new education paradigm in the 21st century. It is a concept that embraces the change of the age that needs to respect the needs of learners, who are the consumers of education, away from the existing supply-centered class management. In addition to primary and secondary education, the education of universities needs to shift from the existing education methods to the advanced education methods. Next, so we need to study self-directed, directed learning ability, understanding of interpersonal relationships, and satisfaction with the class, focusing on team-based learning for learner-centered education that college education should pursue. The team-based teaching method is based on self-directed learning that enables students to learn on their own, understanding interpersonal relationships between team members when performing tasks in a team, and learning about the satisfaction of the learner with team-based teaching. Team-based learning is a structured teaching strategy to maximize the performance of individuals and team through individual premier learning and interaction between team members in dealing with a problem. Team-based learning is characterized by an educational method that effectively and actively promotes learning through small group interactions by continuously carrying out team activities and individual learning activities. In South Korea, team-based learning has been studied with a particular focus on nursing and architecture. Understanding interpersonal relations refers to the degree to which team members understand each other by focusing on relationships with team members rather than team tasks in team project activities. Cannon, Bauer, and Sarah examined in detail the finding that shared cognition among team members has a significant effect on team or organizational performance. According to Cannon, Bauer, and Saras and Matthews, uh, Hifner, Goodwin, and Cannon Bowers, there were four major categories that team members should share in team activity. The last was satisfaction with the class. Satisfaction with the class refers to the degree to which a learner is satisfied with the learning results, achieve a major goal, and is able to effectively respond to the surrounding environment and continuously learn as a result of meeting the needs and expectations of students as much as possible. In addition, the student's confidence in the class is continuous. In other words, students' satisfaction with the class is essential for the learning community as well as the successful performance of the school. Therefore, this study aims to study the relationship between self-directed learning ability, understanding of interpersonal relationships, and satisfaction with the class as the necessary of a new learning method for the fourth industrial revolution has emerged as a social issue. In the fourth industrial revolution, creative talent, approach and solution, and smooth interpersonal abilities in social life are important factors. In order to cultivate the future talents, the university needs to have learner-centered teaching behavior different from the existing teaching behavior. This study verifies the possibility of fostering future talent strive for the fourth industrial revolution by verifying the relationship between self-directed learning ability, understanding of interpersonal relationships, and satisfaction with the class by applying new learning methods to the field of physical education to foster future-oriented talent. At the same time, the significance of this study is to provide empirical data for the application of team-based learning method in college education. Second is method. Measurement. During the composition of the questionnaire, the measure of self-directed learning ability was developed by Lee. Interpersonal understanding used 11 questions that Kwon translated and used from the team skill tool developed by Marshall. Items developed by satisfaction with the case by Beard and Hub, and survey questions used in the study of Lim were used. The questions of each study variable were all used on a 5-point Likert scale. Next is validity and reliability. Validity and reliability were measured to assess the citability of the questionnaire used in this study. Result of a positive analysis of the study's variable of self-directed learning ability were TLI 0.943, CFI 0.955, and RMSEA 0.068. In the result of positive factors analysis of satisfaction with the class, the comparator figure were TLI 0.953, CFI 0.967, and RMSA 0.068. Data processing. Data processing of the study was done using SPSS21 for PASW. Frequency analysis of the demographic characteristics of the study subject. Reliability analysis of research variable and correlation analysis between research variables. A positive factor analysis of the study variable was done using AMOS 19. Next is result. The study of subject. The subject of this study was selected by a team-based liberal arts student at university in South Korea at 2019. The extraction method of the subject used the expedient sampling method among the non-probabilistic sampling method. The survey was self-assessment based on the survey method and a total of 409 questionnaires. Next is the result of study, hypothesis, and model fit. The first hypothesis was that self-directed learning affects interpersonal understanding. The second hypothesis was that self-directed learning ability has an effect on satisfaction with the class. The third hypothesis was that interpersonal understanding affects satisfaction with the classes. Next is discussion. First, the self-directed learning ability of the participants in team-based liberal arts sports influenced interpersonal understanding. Unlike teaching classes centered on professor, team-based classes provide a learning environment in which learners can themselves do activity, participate during team-based learning, and Lim, who reported that self-reliance in learning is a factor that has a um, statistically significant effect on school life adaptation, including friendship and teacher relationship. Second, the self-directed learning ability of the team-based class participants affect satisfaction with the class. This means that self-directed learning skills increase satisfaction with classes through active and uh, autonomous participation. This find supports a theoretical view that self-directed learning skills play a positive role in building knowledge with other learners rather than just learning by themselves. Third, the understanding of interpersonal relations between team-based class participants affect the level of satisfaction with the class. This means that the more team members understand each other and have more knowledge about each other, the more satisfied they are with their classes. Chang significantly increased the satisfaction with his class through the improvement of students' mature communication skills and active learning following the application of team-based learning. In this context, team-based learning. Next is conclusion. The purpose of this study is satisfaction of participants in team-based focused classes. We did frequency analysis, reliability analysis, and correlation analysis using SPSS 2020 version for Windows and used a structured equation model to verify the analysis of confirmatory factors and the theory of research using a MOS 19 version. Our findings were as follows. First, the self-directed learning ability of team-based class participants affect interpersonal understanding. Second, the self-directed learning ability of team-based class participants affect satisfaction with the class. Third, the understanding of interpersonal relations between team-based class participants affected the level of satisfaction with the class. Okay, my presentation is done. Thank you for listening. Bye.